Good morning. It's a little after 7:30 a.m. on the east coast of Florida, and welcome to Coffee and Tea with OMG. Alrighty, so we haven't been here for a couple of days because I had a little girls away trip, a little one-nighter type of thing, where I had a little getaway, got to decompress from all of this. But you missed me, right?
Yes, it was quite lonely. Luckily our dogs were able to keep me company. They slept in the bed and licked my face.
Ooh,
So
fun.
it wasn't the same.
I don't do that. But well, that's cool. Yeah, I missed you. So, and we missed all of you. So, of course, we're still in the winter wonderland here in Florida. And I don't know about the people out there, but our three investigative fur reporters here have sweaters on. And it occurred to me, I know they're domesticated, but originally, weren't some of them in the wild? Did they have sweaters? How did that work? I know they have fur, but
I don't know. I think they acclimated to the seasons.
Well, now Benji does not wear a sweater. He does have
not,
more fur,
no.
and he is the closest thing, I guess, to a wild dog.
Yeah.
Because what is his DNA?
He's an Australian cattle herder, and he has part dingo in him, which makes him pretty much a wild carnivore.
However, I'm not going to pan to it, but if you could see him right now, that wild dingo is laying on the back of our couch on a very soft, furry blanket. So he loves the finer, luxurious things in life.
He loves soft, cushiony
that
pillows.
has left him. Just like my roots in Minnesota as a northern girl have left me, because I am freezing here. What the heck? Somebody please call the north and get their weather back. How are you adapting with it? How do you do? You're a southern boy. You don't like the cold.
I've never lived in that much cold. It's here I have to put on a t-shirt and then a sweater and a jacket, and it's pretty cold.
This is affecting your golf game too.
It is. I can't play in it. It's really depressing.
Yeah,
I needed maybe drink something. I don't know what.
Hot cocoa. He's a hot cocoa drinker.
Yeah.
So I remember this was actually probably 15 years ago. I had to go up to Minnesota for a funeral of a family member. And it was this time of year. It was January. I wasn't sure what to bring. I didn't have the right clothes. And my best friend since kindergarten, I'm still friends with her. She lived up there and I was going to be staying with her. And she was going to pick me up at the airport. So I call her when I'm leaving about the weather. And she goes, "Good news. We're having a little bit of a heat wave here." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's 22 degrees.
Wow.
And I was like,
"Let's go."
Heat wave? So when I got off, the plane and she drove up and I come outside there, kid you not, people did not have jackets on. Some people had short sleeves. And I could see my breath. And we stopped by a Caribou Coffee, which I guess if you know, up there, it's like a Starbucks and it's supposed to be great. And the snow was past the windows, and we went in, and the girl that was the little hostess, she had a tank top on with bare shoulders. So those Vikings up there, but that, as you can see, that's not me anymore. So there's been a lot of news. Even though I got away from the news kept going and
continued.
It continued, and none of it's been good, except for a federal judge did put a pause, stop, or whatever on Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship and change the Constitution. So this is what happened, remember, in 2016 when the first thing he did was to do the Muslim ban, and it was immediately stopped. Has he brought down the price of eggs yet, though? Because isn't that why people put them in?
No,
How are the
I heard
groceries
they're going to
doing?
go up 46% because of what's happening.
Because of the bird flu?
Yes.
So we had a pandemic the last time he was in office, and I know people say, well, that wasn't his fault. Well, kind of, sort of, in a sense, that the Obama administration had left him a playbook of how facts and science and what you do in an event of a pandemic, because they knew that would eventually happen. And he threw that out the window and seems to be doing that again this time. So that's disturbing. So this seems to be, round two however, worse. And I don't know, pardoning the January Sixers, all of these things, nothing of that is going to change the price of eggs or gas. Mm-hmm. But,
no.
It seems to be that who's driving all this? It's
well, I don't think Trump's really smart enough to be able to put together all these programs that he wants to put a kibosh on. So somebody has to be
not without a Sharpie.
Yeah, somebody has to be whispering in his ear, and that's how he functions, because he is a reactive person.
Yeah, that is true. And it's all me. Right. I mean, you got Elon Musk, you got the billionaires, but honestly, it's the Heritage Foundation, because we seem to be going ding, 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 right. all the things that we tried to warn everybody, like Chicken Little.
And this is the, what was that? What was their big push for this year? They were going to institute the 2020
Project 2025. Yeah, and it's happened. It literally is. Yes. And we've noticed that everything he does and everyone he picks, he is either Fox News or it's Florida. Right. Yeah. So Marco Rubio, of course, got confirmed as the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
And what a coinky-dink with all of this horrific things, about immigration and undocumented people. And I'll be doing all that in my solo content. But you were telling me something today.
Oh, yeah. It's a little fun fact here about Mr. Marco Rubio.
Oh.
He gave a speech in 2006, basically explaining how his parents were Cuban exiles, how they escaped
refugees
from Cuba, and went on and on and on, and how the people who came from Cuba, who settled, who are now successful business people, they're productive citizens. But the only thing is, his parents left Cuba before Castro was in power. They came as immigrants, so they came
not refugees. Well, that's fascinating.
And every time there's been a bill pop up about immigrants, he's always voted against it, which is really weird. Because if his parents hadn't came to Florida, he would not be.
There'd be no little Marco.
No little tiny Marco. No.
Wow. So well, and we won't even get started on isn't. At least 2 of Trump's wives were immigrant, not to mention Trump's family. So, hypocrisy, shall we say. So, You've got a busy day planned?
Yes, I have lots of things in front of me to do.
All right, well.
Lots of work.
I hope you are careful and that you stay warm. We'll have a roaring fire and some hot cocoa later.
Yes.
I'll be doing my solo content, and I'm glad to be back here. I missed you, and I missed all of you. So, have a great day, folks.